Hello, welcome to, I think it's like the third tutorial. I can hear my dog in the background. These are kind of the wacky stuff we're going to be developing, but let's start anew. We hit new general, and today we're going to focus on editing. Starts with a cube, and we're in object mode, and I want to go into edit mode. Edit mode has these little vertex, edge, and face we've gone over. Again, you can do all sorts of stuff with with the edit. This is in the vertices. Just be aware when you're stretching and moving and the faces or the vertices that you may be making an object that is does not exist in real life. It's called a non-manifold object, and you want to avoid that, because if you were designing something for 3D printing or whatever, that it would be quite a mess. Okay, but it looks like this kind of shape. Okay, I just we were playing with select the vertices. Here I'm selecting, I think that's the edge. Yeah, and the edge is, obviously you're playing around with an edge and playing around with an edge, and again here's a face, and oh yeah, and I'm pulling up the face, and maybe I'll pull this face aside. These are called gizmos, and those essentially exactly what they look like. They go along like the y-axis, z-axis, or the x-axis. If it's not snapped, then it will go willy-nilly, which is maybe what you want. But if you want to go in increments, again, you can go hit snap and hold on. Yeah, increment, absolute grid snap is one way of being in control of what you are manipulating. See how it clicks now to grid. So anyhow, I'm going to leave that on for a while. So that's basically, you are working with vertices, edges, and faces, and edit mode, and this are the vertices, edges, and faces. All right, going to be in object mode, X, delete. Okay, adding mesh cube again, and we're back to normal. So what we're doing now is extrude, and extrude is also again in edit mode, and just repeating from a previous tutorial. There's the two main modes are object and edit mode, and the main, I like working with layout, but some people work with modeling because you have the timeline goes away. But for some reason, I like what goes on in the windows, the default windows on layout, but it's a preference. If you want to model and model, go for it, or you want to model and layout, either or works well. So again, if you don't have a mouse, a 3-button mouse with a scroll wheel, I recommend getting, but if you don't, this is plenty. A lot of control is over here. See how I'm plussing and minusing and moving this around. So I have told you this before. When it's in object mode, I hit the tilde, which is under escape. It's one of my favorite ways of, if like you're askewed and your window is, and you're way off away from the object, hitting view selected is a great way to get back closer to the object again. So, and this again is in object mode, tilde, and there you go. So top, or the orthographic views are all there in display, again with the tilde in object mode. So if you ever need to like stop for a moment after you're modeling and you want to look at what you're doing, this is a great way. So what we're doing now is extrude, and again that is in edit mode, and I'm just going to go to town essentially by starting with working with face the cube, and I'm going to do something like extrude it to the right or the left. You know, it's kind of extruded instead of up. I'm going to extrude it from the side, and it is right here. Make sure you are in extrude region. There are several different, well, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different extrude variations of the tool. Today, well, for right now, we're just doing extrude region. Now, if you want a little bit of control over how you pop this open and extrude it out, and they extrude in segments, so you may want to again keep your snap, and let's see how this works. Yep, I kind of like it that way. I don't know, for me it's just I feel like it's a way to kind of keep it under control and keep it even. Let's see, and let me do this. Pop, pop. I'm making like kind of like different sections. One thing I want to actually let's pull back. I will show you something real quick that's kind of important to remember. I'll pop this up, right? And then I'll come and I'll pop this up. It's not a correct object because it has multiple walls in between, and you want to avoid that. That's something you want to avoid. Let's see. Let's look at what that says with if you hit the X-ray, you have these multiple walls, and you have to avoid that. And a really simple way of avoiding that when you're extruding is that first you start over, and really simple way is that you select both of them and then you extrude up, and that will get rid of that double wall. So you don't. Oops, so funny. You also have to avoid. You have to click the face that you want because you might accidentally click a side face. So I'm going to hit this one and then shift, and then I'm going to extrude this. No, what is that? No, that's the wrong thing. Extrude, and then this will actually properly bring it up, and you'll see inside that they only share one wall together, and that's the correct way. So it's not double walled, they share a wall, and that is a correct way of building this object. Over here is this is X-ray, and this is back to the shading. And what I'm see if what I'm doing will work. Okay, yeah. So I have. Oh no. Okay, let me try this again. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Click. Okay, great. I have these 6 different cubes. I want to turn this into a chair. How do I do that? Let's see if I can remember. Now, it's easy to do that. I'm underneath it. It's easy to do it because they're all in segments. And again, I'm on face. I'm on extrude region. Let's see how. And I hit shift. I skip this one. Hit shift. And if I go pop it down, I think that's long enough for the legs of a chair. Hit this again, and I want to pop it down the same amount. Can I do that without? So I'm gonna pop. Yeah, so that's even. Okay. Well, and then I will need to. Okay, I have that. Now I need to do this, and this. There's 3 regions that I've popped up that I'm gonna extrude, And that works actually. Okay, there you go. There is a chair, and there you go. So we made the chair, we worked on this extrude, and we worked on the extrude region, which probably is the most commonly used extrude tool. And now that you have a fancy cool chair, you can go into object mode, and you can do things like scale it down if you wanted to. Is that scale? No, that's move. Rotate, scale, and you know, I don't know. Like, you can do whatever you want and play around with it and get it smaller. But I actually just want to move it aside because we're going to start anew. So what if you wanted to extrude 2 different sections at a time? Let's get this, just get a little closer. What would you do? What would you do? Let's say we're, gotta get in edit mode. Let's see, what would it, I'm not 100, let's see, what if it went like that? So I got 2, and I was extrude out. Look how weird it is. That's might not be what you want. So what if you wanted to do 2 separate ones, and then there's something equal, it's something easy, and you would extrude individual. So extrude individual will pop it out like this, and that might be what you want rather than what you just were doing, because what you were just doing looked a little bit wacky. What if you wanted to do extrude along normals? That's a different way, and it gives an average. The other gave an average, but this one is trying to extrude in a normal way. Hold on, let me. What it thinks you want, and it still is a little wacky. However, and interestingly enough, you see this little window right here? This is what you just did. This shows you what you just did. And you can offset even and make this hit offset even. This is a really powerful little window down there, and that's something to consider. Is that right? Yeah. So offset even, and you've made, I don't know what you made, but you've made it work better. So you actually have a little section here, section here, section here. Let's turn it over. Is that right? And edit mode. Okay, great. We have I flipped it on its, and what do I want to do next? I would like to, there's a way of extruding where you press it down and it, and I think it's called extrude manifold, that just cuts it down entirely. Oh yes, so perfect. Now that is extrude manifold, and you've designed a corner couch or something, you know. That is a really cool tool, because if you, let's see, hold on. If you, let's Control Command Z, boom. If you did it this way, extrude region, and try to pop it down, it comes up with this really weird, super thin wall that is not of use of anyone really, because it's razor thin, and so generally when you want to it's not extruding, it's intruding maybe, or you want to use manifold extrude. So that is that. We've gone, okay, extrude manifold. All right, let's move this aside. Let's call it an object. Move you. I want to get rid of you. Hold on. And move you along this axis again. Just put you aside. Get over there. All right. Let us do and add yet another cube. We're on the cube. All right. Okay. What if you wanted just to go willy-nilly? You wanted to go a little bit, you just wanted to be very expressive or something. And you can do that by moving extrusion along the cursor. It's a delicate process. So what if I wanted to, yeah, there you go. You wanted to do your, and I'm, so pretty wacky, and you just want to design your box beam sculpture in this wackadoodle way, and you would, and you if you wanted, you would just be a little bit more careful with the cursor, but this is a quick way of expressing extrusion, and so those are the main extrusion tools, and then maybe we can get over to bevel in a moment.